I remember as a kid, I'd just be laying on the grass in the yard, and I just had this feeling like I just wanted to put my arms around the earth and give the earth a hug, because I just loved being outside and that feeling of nature, and I was always inspired by going to amazing places. And like, if you go to like the ocean for the first time, or you go to some mountains and they're covered with snow, you look at them and you go, wow, look at that. And in that moment of, wow, look at that, you forget about your problems, you forget about your credit card debt, you forget about all your obligations, and you've actually made a connection with that place. And so, studying with Grant really helped me to put structure to that. And a lot of what the ritual tradition teaches is to learn how to get your mind to be quiet so that you can hear the sort of answers that the universe is always talking to you and telling you. And so that actually ended up becoming a bigger and bigger part of how I was able to do well in the sport as my career continued on and I continued to study with him. And so it was, I think that's one of the sort of undiscovered pieces in performance and athletics and sport. Like, self-confidence isn't about being all pumped up and being invincible. Self-confidence is really about surrender and being humble before, being humble and being amazed by life itself. Like, how it is when you go outside and you see the flowers and you smell one of them and it's beautiful, and like, that's good. That makes you feel good. And as much as it sounds crazy, we have to practice feeling good. Like, the more things we do where we feel good naturally, that becomes a place that we can go to when things don't feel good. Like when we're in a challenging situation. We can take that breath, we can step back, we can go into that space within ourselves that knows that no matter what happens here, I am going to be okay. Even if it doesn't turn out the way I want, the way I hope, my life is still going to go on. And that was really important in the races, because when the race is not going well and I would get into that judgment space, part of it was like, oh, my life is never going to be good after this. And it's like, wait a minute. Tomorrow I'll wake up, the sun is going to rise, my family and friends are still going to love me, my life will still be okay. This moment may not turn out the way I hope, but my life will go on and it will be okay. And that's sort of like, that puts your brain back into that secure place. And when your mind is secure, everything relaxes again. You're, like I said, you're set up for survival. And so if you feel like this situation is going to diminish your quality of life, if it turns out a certain direction, your brain tries to get you out of that. But if you sort of can have a conversation with that inner part of yourself and just go, hey, even if my life situation is not as optimal tomorrow as it was today, I'll still be okay. I'll still be fine. There will still be that flower outside that I can go smell, and it will smell good. It sounds simple, but it is simple, but it's also powerful. And so many health organizations now are saying, look, if you want to have life health, you have to exercise. You have to go outside. If you go outside, expose yourself to the sunlight, to the day, to the air, if you move, your quality of life is going to be better than if you sit inside and you don't get outside and you don't do simple stuff. But it's like the Weetal say, everything really powerful is simple, you just have to do it.